Next up, we have Sebastian, who wants to talk about topic number 1. Sebastian, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
My age is 31.
And your pronouns?
And I guess he, him.
Okay. Now, Sebastian, you specifically said we can't prove feelings. What you are is what you are. Are you then saying that you don't? Are you saying that you agree with like what? Are you here to debate, or are you in agreements?
I would just like to start off. Would you agree that everyone should prove their claim?
Should everyone prove their claim? If it's a claim about like a universal truth, sure.
Okay, so if I claim I'm black, which I'm obviously not, would you affirm that? Would you confirm that?
Well, you can't claim to be black. Black is a legal distinction placed upon you by like external forces. So I would say that like being black is not like an internal thing. It's an external thing.
Okay, fair enough. So how is it possible to prove your feelings on something? So say I'm a male, but I feel that I am a woman.
You would
How can I prove that?
You would assert it. The only way to prove internal things is by saying it. You don't really have to prove an internal. They're internal.
Okay. And also, I have another question. Should hermaphrodites have the only claim to gender dysphoria because they are forced to be one or the other?
So that term isn't a term that we use in the sciences anymore. We don't use that term in the sciences anymore, and it's widely considered a slur amongst the trans population. If you're talking about intersex people who may possess intersex conditions, their gender identity can be whatever they want it to be.
Uh-huh.
Just like everybody else's gender identity is whatever they want it to be.
So, I mean, it just makes logical sense to me that if I was born with only a male genitalia, I can't claim that I have gender dysphoria because I wasn't previously something that I wasn't.
What do you think gender dysphoria is?
I feel that way. How would you prove?
Sorry, Sebastian. What do you think? What do you think gender dysphoria is?
It's basically somebody that feels that they are not, a male sex or female, especially when considered a reference.
That's just the definition of gender. You're just reading the definition of gender.
Than what they actually are.
No, gender dysphoria is the stress that a person might feel because their gender identity does not align with some semblance of physical representation of their sex. So typically, your gender identity doesn't align with some phenotypic attribute, and so therefore you feel the stress, which is gender dysphoria. It can affect both trans people and cisgender people.
So again, it's a feeling.
Yeah, most things that have to do with our brains have to do with us feeling something, yeah.
Okay. So I'm having a hard time understanding how, I mean, if that's the stance on that, then isn't being trans gay with extra steps?
Did you think you ate with that one?
Because you can have a gay male
Did you I gotta know, Sebastian. I gotta know. I gotta know. You were waiting in the queue for 58 minutes. Were you like amped to use that line? Were you like, yes, I can't wait to hit him with the gay with extra steps line. That's gonna get him. That was one of the worst arguments I've ever heard in my life.
I don't see how.
Because gender has nothing to do with your sexuality. Like in the slightest. Doesn't matter what gender you are. That's not going to affect who you're attracted to.
If it doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality, then why be trans at all? Why not be, I'm a male that likes other males?
Sebastian, I have to hope and pray. And listen, I might have a short fuse because today's been an interesting
here for
day
learning
of
intensive
debates.
purposes. I'm
I
not
have to
here
hope and
like
pray.
be a stickler.
It's not about being a stickler. It's not about being a stickler. It's about what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What do you mean? That has to do with everything.
There are trans women who still are attracted to women, right?
No, I didn't think that was a thing.
Ain't no way.
So help my brain process this. Trans women, so biologically male, are still attracted to females.
I'm going to say this
So
as I'm going to say this
heterosexual?
as simple as I possibly can, okay? Yes, I would call trans women who are attracted to women. No, I wouldn't call them heterosexual. I'd call them lesbians, probably. I'm going to say this as simple as I can. Your gender identity and your sexuality are not the same thing. I don't know that I can say it any simpler than that. They don't affect one another. What you identify as a gender does not have any influence over who you are attracted to.
Okay. So why do we sign it at birth as one or the other? Shouldn't there be a third option?
What are you talking about?
That's your viewpoint on it.
What are you talking
on a birth
about?
certificate, you can only identify on a birth certificate. You can only identify as a male or a female. So by your logic, you're saying we need to redo birth certificates and have a third option. Am I correct?
You're not even in the same galaxy as where I am right now.
Okay. Explain that to me.
The sex you're assigned at birth doesn't have anything to do with what your gender is,
with your sexuality.
Nor does it have anything to do with who you are attracted to. None of these things are the same. What your sex assigned at birth is different from what you identify as gender-wise, and is going to be different from, they're just different concepts entirely.
So they're just different concepts, and that's your argument on the whole matter? Is they're just different concepts?
No, it's my rebuttal to you claiming they're the same. Do you believe gender, sex, and sexuality to all be the same thing?
I believe they tie into one another. Would that be a fair argument?
It's a fair argument to make about gender and sex. It's a really bad argument to make about sexuality.
Okay, well, let's just unpack this separately. If I am a trans man, a woman becoming a man through reproductive processes or whatever, how is it, recorded on my birth certificate?
Birth certificates only talk about your sex. I don't care what's on a birth certificate.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with what your gender would be.
We talk about sex. Right. So I think the problem was we have for a long time socially accepted that both sides are exactly the same. Could you agree on that?
Historically, there has been a conflation between gender and sex because we didn't have as much of an understanding around the human mind and psychology. And as we started to understand the human mind better, we now understand that gender and sex are different things.
So by that logic, I could be whatever I want.
Nope. For instance, you can't be a truck.
It doesn't have to do with anything.
Trucks are
I can't be a what? A
So
truck?
for instance, you can't be a truck, right?
Yeah, well,
You can
obviously,
exist
trucks
as
are
things.
mechanical.
We can exist as things inside of the human qualia if those things are internal senses of self. We can't exist as external classifications. We can exist, like you can be any internal thing you want. You can't be any external thing you want.
So you're just arguing that gender is a totally different thing, basically.
Gender is, in fact, a different thing than sex, yes. This would be a true statement.
Okay. Could you explain to me exactly what a non-binary, because like I said, I'm here for learning purposes.
Can I explain to you what a
encompasses a non-binary person? What does that entail?
They are someone whose gender does not align with either of the two sexes.
So they are claiming to be
neither man nor
or the
woman.
Other?
Correct. They don't fit into any specific gender
role. So they
role.
are claiming to be an organic robotic life form then?
Is okay.
Because if you're not a man or a woman,
I'm gonna have a fucking
then what are you?
Fucking what?
If you claim that you are not a man or a woman, what are you? Are you an organic life form?
You're non-binary. You do not fit into the gender binary. You sit outside of it. You don't associate with the traits of either man nor woman. You are a person who does not fit. So you don't look like
a man or a woman. You just said doesn't associate with the traits. So you don't dress up as a man or a woman. You dress up as a cat. Or whatever. Would that be a correct assessment of the situation? Like I said, I'm trying to understand.
When we talk about traits associated with either gender roles, what is going to happen is non-binary people don't feel that those traits match up with their internal sense of self. They may still dress however they want. They still may wear their hair however they want, because they don't feel that these traits are inherently tied to what their gender identity is. But when it comes to the way they refer to themselves, the way they internally identify themselves, it would not be under any gender category because they don't fit inside of the gender roles.
Okay. A little hard to follow, but okay.
Okay, think of computer binary code. Okay?
Ones and zeros.
Correct.
Got it.
Now what happens if I have a 2?
It doesn't work.
Is a 2 still a number?
Yes.
Does it sit outside of that binary?
Yes.
So it would be what? Non-binary.
It would. Okay.
There you go.
That's your Okay. What's the definition of traits again?
What? What does that matter?
Said, what's the definition of trait?
What does that matter?
Because traits matter, right?
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. I'm gonna have an aneurysm, bro. There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way what?
When I say traits, what do you think I mean? Because I've explained it already. And now we're right back here.
Traits are something that are consistent, stable, and unique to whatever is being presented.
So if I have someone that doesn't align with the traits of male or female, and then they don't align with the socially dictated roles of men and women, what would that person be?
I guess non-binary.
There you go.
I just don't understand why this is a huge thing that is a problem.
It's not a huge thing or a problem.
Like,
There's not that many non-binary people.
and there's not that many trans, too, to be fair.
Yep, you're the one who called in about this, my G.
Exactly. I came in to learn, and I'm learning. I don't know why we're being negative about it, because you have a higher knowledge about this than I do, because you debate this a lot more than I do.
Partially annoyed because you were supposed to be having a debate and you came in instead to just like be taught.
What do you mean?
Well, I labeled it, this is a debate stream, you know?
I told you my worldview of it, and then you told me your worldview of it.
You didn't tell me your
Which can be
worldview. You told
totally
me that you
different things.
didn't understand these things and you asked me to explain them to you.
And I explained how I see them. Did I not?
Okay,
I said,
Sebastian,
Isn't
do you
trans
think
people
trans
gay with
men?
extra steps?
Yes, and okay.
Is that not my look on that?
If that's still your look on it after this conversation, you didn't listen to a word I said.
No, I heard what you said, and I'm
Okay.
not saying that's
Do
my
you-
outlook on it as of right now.
Okay. Do you believe that trans women are women?
I'm just trying to understand it all as a whole.
Sebastian, do you believe trans
Do I
women are
believe
women?
Trans women are women.
Yeah.
I believe they have the right to identify as what they want,
That's not the question I asked you.
but I'm going to need more evidence.
Such as what?
Such as if they want to be women, then they should have the women parts.
Do all women have women parts?
Yeah, pretty
No.
sure. They all have
Nope.
reproductive organs.
No,
they
they
all
don't.
have,
They do not.
the downstairs area is the same.
No, they
Yeah,
do not.
Do.
Nope.
Okay,
Some women lack
point out to me
vaginas.
where they don't.
Some women lack vaginas. They may have vaginal agenesis. Some women have Swyer syndrome, where they may lack a reproductive system completely. So they don't have women parts.
Okay, some people have abnormalities to them.
Sebastian, you told me
That
a
doesn't
woman
make
has.
them
You told me a woman has to
something they're
have.
not.
You told me in order for them to be a woman, they have to get women parts, but not all women have women parts. So why do
What's the
trans
definition of a
women?
female?
Why do trans women have to have women parts if not all cis women have to have women parts?
It's an abnormality, a birth defect.
I just want you to
And it
answer
happens rarely.
Stop. That's not the question I asked. I said if trans women have to have women parts to be a woman, why is it that not all cis women have to have women parts in order to be a woman?
Because trans women have to have surgical to have those parts.
That's not what I'm asking you. You said in order to be a woman, I'm going to ask you one more time. In order to be a woman, they must have woman parts. But there are cis women who do not have women parts. Why are you forcing trans women to have women parts when you're not forcing cisgender women to have women parts?
Because if they're not born with them, then they shouldn't have to be forced to have them.
Trans women aren't born with them, so why would you force them to have them to be a woman?
You're not, okay?
Trans women are also born like what?
Now, if you're choosing to be something you're not, then you should identify with that identity and be that something that you are claiming you are. So a trans person should get female parts.
A cisgender woman who doesn't have female parts is also claiming to be a woman. So why should they not have to get it too?
Can we agree that cis women already have some of the parts? If they're missing one, that's irrelevant.
It's not, but thanks for playing. Hey, thank you all for watching this video. If you don't know me, I'm Jovan Bradley. I'm a leftist content creator who does debates, political commentary, gaming, and more. If this is your first video, thanks for sticking to the end, and I hope you subscribe. I post videos daily, and there are hundreds of past debates on my page for you to enjoy. Thank you to all of my YouTube members. Your continued support helps me create as much as I can. Consider joining. A membership starts at $2.99 and gets you access to our community Discord, early access to videos, and more. Shout out to my Tier 4 members, Zurith Moonpaw, Kazim, Never Again, Ovaltine, Sylvia Snow, Bamji, Emery Emojin, Ayla Ursus, Vel, Kelsey K, Jake Gorshander, Matthew Holloway, Vampy, Yemye, Mealy, and Dragon Nerd. Your continued support goes a long way to me continuing the fight for equity, justice, and education. Thank you again for watching.